Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Today we're carrying on with the technique development series and we're at unit 8. I just like giving you guys multiple fingering exercises for you to work on, which work out different combinations of fingers, different aspects of technique that hopefully will support you when you're trying to play a new song, you're trying to write a song, you're improvising with some friends, that your hand will be more flexible in what it can do. It doesn't have deep ruts and just a couple muscle memories. Today we're doing something a little different. So far, the previous 7 units, everything's been in 4/4. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give you a simple exercise. This is if you just bought your bass at the local music store and you're just coming down and this is the first video you see, this is absolutely something you can do. But it's in 3/4. We should practice different exercises in different time signatures so that we are not so ingrained to 4/4 phrasing that when someone gives us a tune in 6/8 or 3/4 or even 7/8, 5/4, that we're stuck. So I am going to be giving you fingering exercises in different time signatures, sprinkled here and there, not go nuts, so that you'll also develop kind of an ear for what that time signature feels like. So we're starting simple with 3/4. This exercise is really easy to gather. Basically, we're playing 8th notes. So in every measure of 3/4, we're going to play 6 8th notes. And we're going to start with the first fret, and we're going to go 1, 2, back to 1, then 3, back to 1, and then 4. Now before you move on and do the rest of the exercise, just do that. Get used to that sound. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and kind of a simplified or kind of weird Jaws thing going on there. Remember the again, especially if you're brand new to the instrument, try not to, well, just don't use the same finger for any 2 notes. Like I don't want to see this because that's not really developing our ability and it's not really useful musically. Just try to stick to the 1 finger per fret discipline. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Now what happens with the rest of the exercise, both on the ascent and the descent, is you're going to start with the exact same way. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, 3. But then like after you play the initial pattern, you're going to go and play 1, 4 on the next string. So let me just, I think I might have not described that the best way. So let me just start again. Here's from the beginning. Now for the descent, you're going to play the 1, 2, 1, 3 on the G string and then work the 1, 4 across. Like that. So you're going to be going across and back, and it's moving these 2 fingers, getting them kind of a little more independent while keeping this constant 1, 2 on the outside strings. Practice slowly. Don't even consider putting a metronome or drum machine on until you've got the pattern where you can execute it. If you're getting a lot of buzzes and rattles, that might mean a couple things. One is your finger, like let's say you're trying to play on this 4th fret, but because you're not comfortable stretching, your finger's barely in that zone. Well, there's not enough down pressure on the fret, so you get a lot of buzzing. That kind of sound. To eliminate it, even if you have to slide your hand up a little bit, get as close behind the fret that you're aiming for, in this case the 4th fret, get right up there. Now you can be in that spot and still get some buzzing because you're not pushing down hard enough. So just increase the pressure, the down pressure, pushing the string into the fret until the buzz goes away and you got a clean note. These little attention to details is really good for developing your tone, control, and if you can do it, get ahead of it now, then later on, everything else just sounds better because you've got better note creation. You're generating better notes from the get-go. So again, play it up, play it back. If you feel like, move up a fret. Play it up, play it back, move up a fret. You can do that. If you do start setting on metronome, please start slow. Slow is really where you develop a lot of your strength and flexibility because you're holding the notes longer. But if you're going to work up, I suggest working up 10 beats at a time. Start at 60. Play the exercise, make sure all the notes are good. Go to 70 beats per minute, do the same thing. Go to 80. When you start to feel a little fatigued or you're generating a bunch of bad notes, stop for the day. That might be, for that day, that might be as fast as you need to go. We don't want to practice mistakes and we don't want to injure our hands. So just a little bit goes a long way. Oh, today our Encore Item is an album I really loved, and maybe one that you might not know about. It's from the band Savatage, and it's Gutter Ballet. This album I became aware of when I was just out of Musicians Institute. Before I graduated from the school and before I got hired back on to teach there was a 3-month period where I worked at Tower Records on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And someone turned me on to it there. I can't even remember who, but we were able to always play recordings over the system in the store, and I heard the very first song, which is Of Rage and War. The bass tone is phenomenal. Bassist on that is Johnny Lee Middleton. And the production, actually, while working at that Tower Records, I was actually able to meet the producer, and we were able to discuss this album. But from previous Savatage albums, I thought this was a huge leap forward. It was more cinematic. It was just, the bass tone was really cool, and the songs were powerful. From beginning to end, I love every song. The highlight tracks, I think, for bass players to listen to is definitely Of Rage and War, classic hard rock, quasi-metal, if you will. Bass tone, I believe, plays with a pick. It's got so much just like tone to it. I just really love it. And I think the bass line is also very perfect for supporting the theme of the song. And then, of course, the title track, Gutter Ballet, the vocal performance is phenomenal on this. But again, if you listen to how the bass player created his line, Johnny, and his execution is just really a powerful song. It's a song that I think if someone redid with modern production and maybe some more modern guitar sounds and things like that, yeah, it could be featured on a soundtrack of any superhero movie for sure. For me, one of the greatest songs, the one that I just it's in my playlist, I listen to it all the time, is When the Crowds Are Gone. And it's this emotional song. I want you to experience it. I don't want to taint it with my perception of what the song's about, but listen to When the Crowds Are Gone. And there is a phrase in there, a whole section of lyrics, I wasted my time until time wasted me, which as most of you guys know, Savatage later became Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they took that section and put that into one of their songs there. So I'm glad they did, because I think that whole bridge section, I think, sounded so cool, and the lyrics were so powerful that they just transplanted and put it into a new song. I thought it fit very, very well. Yeah, so check it out. If you're into rock and metal, I think you guys will love it if it's something you haven't checked out before. I believe these are all just, and some have, are no longer with us, but the band is amazing. The musicians are phenomenal. I think the compositions are strong, and I do love the production on it. It's good. If you're not into rock and metal, still check it out. I bet that it won't be that much of a stretch for you. And because if you go to the movies and you hear soundtracks and you're kind of digging kind of some of the songs and some of the more action movies, I think you're pretty close to like what this album has to offer. Man, I'm just talking about it and I'm going to go listen to it because it's just a great album. Absolutely one of my favorites. And check out When the Crowds Are Gone. Let me know what you think. I think that's important. Every time I do anything as an encore item, I'm throwing it out there to kind of maybe give you guys a new resource, maybe some new inspiration, introduce you to a player you don't know, or if it's a music book, something that'll help you on your journey. But respond. Did you listen to it? What do you think? Did you already know the album? Tell me any anecdotes about this album, what it's meant to you. You want to suggest a different album by Savatage, anything like that. I mean, that's the conversation I'm going for. And you can do it here, or you can do it on the Facebook group, which is search Facebook for Everything Bass with Dale Titus. You'll find the group. It's an open group. Just hit follow and then comment away. We'd love to have you. So that's it. Technique Development Unit 8 and Savatage's Gutter Ballet. Great, great album. Thanks for sticking with us. And if you have any questions about this or any of the other videos, please don't hesitate to reach out either through the comment section, or you can even email me at dtitus@daletitus.com. All right, get to it. Get some fingers on some wires, and let me know how it goes. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later.